Once again, we welcome you to Culturama. I am Billy Coyne, your host, and we have with us a special guest today, Library Associate Emily Byers.
Hi.
And Emily was born where?
I was born in California.
You've heard of California. What part?
In LA.
L.A. Was it as smog-laden as the media say?
Yes, and I think that's part of the reason why my family left.
Okay. And the traffic is awful.
Yes, that too.
The freeways are no fun.
Yeah, I was a kid, so I wasn't driving,
Okay.
but I think that
Did
that
you live
was
in a
part
safe
of
street?
it. Yeah.
Tell us about your neighborhood where you grew up. What was it like?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Draw a picture in our minds.
It was kind of a normal residential area. We were, it was kind of a long walk to the beach, but we could walk there if we wanted to. So I would do that sometimes on the weekends with my dad and my brother. And yeah, kind of a typical residential street. Some eucalyptus trees in the yard. And
when you were a young lady thinking of the future in the distant firmament, what did you want to be? What was your child dream?
well, I spent a lot of time at the library as a child. And
Ironically.
it's not a big surprise that I ended up being a librarian. I think I kind of always had that in the back of my mind, that might be something I would enjoy.
Sure.
And when I got older, I seriously explored that as a career, to find out what it was really like to work at the library. We don't get to sit around and read all day, but we do get to help people find information and connect people with good books and do a lot of good things as a community center. So it's been a very good career for me.
Now, I would imagine that there were major differences between the library you used to attend in Los Angeles and the one where you work. You want to draw us a little contrast about?
Yeah, I went to a smaller suburban library that it was a very old kind of regal building.
Landmark almost.
Yeah, it was. So that was a nice place for me to visit. And so the Salem Library is a lot larger than that. So it kind of has a different feel. It's got more floor space, a larger collection. So.
And what kind of books did you like to read when you were that age?
I liked everything, but I especially loved mysteries. All the classics, Nancy Drew, horse books. I kind of read everything, and then when I got a little bit older, I kind of moved into the grown-up section and started reading Sue Grafton and things like that.
Did you do any creative writing yourself?
No, never done any writing.
Just a consumer.
Yep, I'm going to leave that to the experts.
I'm a journalist from New York that don't talk funny no more. I like to do the accent once upon a time. Okay, so did you have any role models in school or elsewhere that helped to encourage you to go into library work?
Maybe not specifically into libraries, but my teachers were always really supportive, good resources for me. And then when I was in college, I got my first job at a library, at the public library in the town where I was going to college.
Where's that?
In Norman, Oklahoma, at the University of Oklahoma.
A little different than California.
Quite different. And my circulation manager there, she was really supportive when I told her I wanted to go to library school and make the library a career. So she was a really good support for me.
Let's say her name on television.
Her name is Nancy Littlejohn.
Hi, Nancy Littlejohn. This may go on YouTube, so you may see
you never know.
yourself resurfacing.
She's still at the Norman Public Library.
Okay.
So.
Are people normal in Norman?
Yes, quite normal.
Okay, I just threw that in for. Anyway, tell us a little bit about what library school is like, because most of us have never been there.
Yeah, it's a master's degree program, so it's 2 years. Or you can do it, depending on what you're doing. I was working at the time and got it done in 2 years. So you learn a little bit about administration. You learn about doing collection development, which is purchasing resources for the library. You learn about doing programming. If you want to go into children's librarianship, you might take classes on story time and children's literature and how to do early literacy training, things like that. So it kind of depends on if you want to go in an academic track, a public track, or a children's or special library.
By the way, you don't know why I put this
No, I don't.
It's because you're a well-rounded librarian.
Aha, okay.
That's your icon.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. At least I'm well-rounded in different ways. We don't want to go into that. Anyway, I love the way you laugh.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe we should patent that laughter and get. Anyway, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about some of the changes that the library has been undergoing. You've just been there about a year or so.
That's
What have you
correct.
heard about? And I actually served on the library advisory board for 4 years under Gail Warner and B.J. Tower and all. And one of the things I'm boosting, and I'll still boost with you, is I would love to have the children's section for storytelling include ethnic stories from other cultures, because I think that would be a soft but viable approach to acquaint young people with some of the greatness of other cultures, so there wouldn't be everything Americans up in the air. And
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah,
So
they do
we'll
all
see.
kinds of things up there. So, yeah, the library, I am new to the Salem Library, but libraries in general have been adapting with the new technologies that come out and becoming kind of community centers, more than just a place to get books. So we have technology resources, we have internet access, we have
I've used it.
You've used it, yes. It's very popular. We have meeting rooms that the community can use. We have performances. We have lots of programming for kids, teens, and adults. And more than just, we have books, audiobooks, magazines, DVDs, and all the normal things you think of when you think about checking something out from the library. But we also have technology that the public can use, things like the transformation station. So if you want to take your old tapes and put them on CD, or your VHS tapes, put them on DVD, or scan your old pictures, we have the equipment to do that.
What would be the cost? I have over 150 Broadway musicals actually on video.
Okay.
What would be the cost per tape? or
It
per
doesn't cost
DVD?
anything. You have to bring your own tapes and discs and do it yourself, but there's no cost to you. You just can call
you
and
just use the equipment.
and you can make a reservation.
Okay. Good to know.
If you know you want to come in, you can make a reservation and let us know. You can use it for a certain number of hours every day. But just call ahead and make sure the equipment's all running and that there's a space open for you.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit, because it's very important. Teenagers are kids in transition, and we now have a teen center. It's it's actually the old CCTV studio space on the side of the library. And if you have a teenager or know some under a block, introduce them to SAME, and Emily will tell us what goes on at the teen center.
The teens.
Under Sonia.
Yes, exactly. Sonia Somerville is the teen librarian, and she does a great job running the teen scene. It's open to anyone that wants to browse for books or music and come check out, but the main part of this space is dedicated just for teens. So there's a gaming area, they have movie showings, they do programs, then the teens have just their own safe space that is just for them to enjoy, so they can really make it their own. And the teens have just taken that and run with it. There's a really active teen advisory board, there's a writing group. The teens just won the statewide contest for a video promoting the summer reading program, and the Salem teens won the whole state competition. So
Salem.
go Salem! So they're doing a lot of good things down there, and the teens are really, really enjoying it.
If you were a kid, what would be your favorite part of the library you wanted in just make believe?
Oh man, I love the arches that surround the stairwell up to the kids area. That's kind of a wood,
Yes,
the
they
wood
designed that.
carving with all the animals. I really like that.
It's very interesting you brought it up, because a lot of libraries don't concentrate as much in art as we do here in Salem, and it's really almost like a veritable art gallery.
It is. I think that was part of the foundation's idea when they funded a lot of the art that's up at the library.
Library Foundation. Who runs it these days? Do we know the name? Or
There's a new director of the foundation. Her name is Kate Van Emerson, and she was just hired. Paula just retired in March.
Okay, and if you want to, you probably find it good time now to discuss the library website, because I'm sure you could get some information on the foundation there, and something that we'd love more people to join.
Yeah, the library website has information about pretty much everything we provide. So there's basic information about how to get a library card, you know, where you live in the county, what kind of card you can get, how many items you can check out, what kind of ID you need to bring in to show proof of address. So that basic information's on there.
Excellent.
There's a link to search the library catalog, so you can look for items at home and place holds, manage your account. There's also listings of the programmings we have coming up for children's, teen, and adult. What else is on there? We've got our list of our databases and electronic resources. So things like the Chilton online car repair database that you can access from home with your library card.
That's important because a lot of us out here have car problems from time to time. Not only people problems, but cars could be a little bit messy too. And if you want to save money and learn how to do your own repairs, or at least get an overview of what the repair entails, so you don't get taken to the cleaners, as it were.
Right. So then there's other resources like magazine and newspaper articles that are available.
Yes.
So for students or people doing research, or those are available to you
I'd
as well.
like to make a suggestion. I am very impressed by the 60 or 80 different magazines you have in the magazine rack. And there's some very fantastic specialties that no one would ever dream would be a magazine. Is it possible to promote that by having an alphabetical list of all the magazines as part of your website, so people who are outsiders who don't frequent the library
Yeah, that's
would
a good
come and
idea.
check it?
And
'Cause
it's,
I
have
think-
you looked?
I think it's an untapped resource by and large.
I don't want to say for sure that that doesn't exist. I'm not sure. That may be something that is on the website already, but if it's not, I think that's a good
I'll
idea.
ask Julie Sowell, your new.
I can check
director.
with the reference staff that manages the website, certainly.
Yeah. I want to say farewell to my friend Wendell Buck, who is retiring as of today. How many years he spent there? Any idea?
Oh gosh, it was over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
12 years
Wendell's
maybe.
been a wonderful presence and all. Okay, let's talk about the new children's library, because that underwent what they call a facelift.
Yeah, they finished it in 2015. There's new and improved storytime rooms, a nice dedicated area for kids' computers, just kind of a nice space for kids to really explore and see.
When does storytelling take place? Is it a regular?
There are lots of story times. I would say go to the website to find the most up-to-date information. There's multiple story times every week. There's a bilingual story time, and then story times aimed at the different age groups. So go to, it's www.salemlibrary.org.
Okay. www.salemlibrary.org, and your phone number is 503
588-6315.
588-6315. Okay. Now, what programs do we have taking place over May and maybe June? Luke Auditorium is your...
I brought the copy of the newsletter, as I
Okay.
knew you might
So
ask about this.
I am asking about it because people out here, the weather's nicer, but some rainy days they like to go and do things, and almost everything is a freebie.
Correct. And this is our new version of the newsletter, which we just started. It's a little bit smaller, but we have a nice full-page event calendar. A little bit different format than we used to have. So this is something you can pick up at the library every month. It's going to be coming out. So our headline event is Friday, May 6th. The Double Clicks, nerd band comedy duo, are coming to Laux Auditorium. And then we're also having Ukulele Month. All of
Strum
May.
along with us.
Yes, on Saturday, May 7th at 2:30, there'll be a
Now,
sing-along.
May 7th is a Friday?
That is a Saturday.
Saturday, okay, it's a good time.
And then on Tuesday, May 10th, also in the Laux Auditorium, there'll be a documentary film called The Mighty Uke to go along with that.
But ukulele players. You know.
So there's, as you can see, this these are all the events just in May. So, and this includes all the story times on here.
By the way, and I don't think you've thought about this, most people haven't, but if a person is somewhat shy and introverted but wants to meet somebody that has common interests, this is a sneaky, surreptitious, stealth way to meet people, hang around the section of the book rack that has your particular thing, like biographies or travel, whatever. And if somebody comes along and takes out a book, start a conversation, say, oh, I'm interested in that. What kind of book you do? And you can strike up a conversation.
It's a great place to connect with other people that share your interests, certainly.
Not for dating, though.
Yeah, I can't promote that, but
That's a no-no.
So
at least we can't say that publicly, but who knows?
the other thing is that we will have summer reading coming, and so that won't be in May. That'll actually, signups will start on June 7th. So that's something you can kind of look forward to in May.
Okay. Now, Emily, you probably know that gerontology is my background, and I have a plus place in my heart for the older people. I know that a lot of the retirement homes and assisted living places here in Salem, and there are probably 24 or more of them, are not connected with the library. I would first like to recommend, through powers that be, that they be put on the mailing list and either get a paper version or an email version of the newsletter, so their activities directors can consider daytime library programs and connect. I think it's very healthy and helpful for older people who are feeling isolated in a seniors-only community to get out and mainstream with younger people like you and me at heart. And so I would like to promote that, and maybe I will speak to Carol Mitchell and the Library Advisory Board and see if they could come aboard on that and all. The other thing I want, and I did speak to the Library Board on this, is that we're having probably close to 80 war zone refugees coming to Salem this year. The last email I got says 33 are here already. Congo, Somaliland, Burma, I believe, some from Nepal, which has had its own wars, and of course Iraq and Afghanistan, because they're directly in the war zone with a lot of bombings and stuff. And I think on World Refugee Week, which is June 19th to the 26th, I would like the library to maybe have a walking tour of the library for some of these war zone refugees and introduce them to the Literacy Center so they could learn better English and become more mainstream and learn the language and all.
There's lots of language learning resources at the library, and we'd be happy to show you or them where they can find those.
In fact, I will get in touch with Jenny. Jenny is the program director, coordinator here. I think they have an office in the First Presbyterian Church now. And I would like to have her encourage that each child who comes in a refugee family get a library card and get them started early on.
It sounds like a great idea.
Including the teen center. They might find it very uplifting to meet other teens their age who could sort of adopt them in a way. Yeah. What else do we have coming up that we should know about?
You want to talk about things for seniors or other library events we have going on?
I'd like to talk about other library events, and I'd also like to ask, what's the process? Because somebody out in our viewing audience might be part of an organization that would like to plan a future activity, and so let's go through the how to do it.
Yeah, if any group wants to use the facility to put on a program, they can get in touch. They can call that same number, the 588-6315. And then
is Ann in charge of the program now?
So Ann does some of the programming, and for meeting room rentals, you want to talk to the administration office, and that's an option on the phone tree that'll put you right in touch with the person that does the meeting room reservations. And for library programs, talking to one of the librarians would be the option you want to press on the phone.
Now, every Thursday from 12:30 on, 12:30 to 2:30, the WYTT Writers Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow meets in the exchange there. Stories, poems, fiction, nonfiction, and even some originally written music. We have two people who play guitar and do songwriting.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, that's. I mean, I knew about the group, but I didn't know there were people writing music
You
in
have
there.
to sneak off during your coffee break.
That sounds great.
And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite people who have writing aspirations, not necessarily perfectionists, to come by, tune into one of our sessions any Thursday, and meet some of the very intriguing people from all walks of life, and bring your own stuff to test out. We're very supportive. We don't put you down, In fact, we encourage you, and we've had people there as young as age 12 or 13.
That's great. And the library also has 2 book clubs that are free and open to the public.
Wednesday is one.
Yeah, so there's books for lunch and books for dessert. Books for lunch is on the 3rd Wednesday of the month at noon. They meet in the Anderson room downstairs. And in May, they're discussing Americana. And then books for dessert is on the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. So that'll be on May 3rd, and they're discussing the art of crash landing. So we have copies available for the books that the library book clubs are using at the information desk. So you can just go in and check out a copy of the book and then bring it to the meeting. And there's no commitment to come to multiple meetings. If you want to just come once and see how it goes,
Sure.
You can. They're just
Have a
open.
Scrabble club too.
Yes.
That's what they,
Let's see.
Wednesday noon or something.
I'll have to look. I see a Lego
Scrabble.
party.
We want to put, why don't you spell out your name of Scrabble chips and figure out how many points you would score with the letters you choose. That's a fun game.
Scrabble Club. Okay, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. in the Plaza Room.
Okay, right after dinner. Now, you're not supposed to bring food in to the Plaza Room, are you?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do it surreptitiously.
We can find out.
Under the radar. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
there's a lot of, we also have the Salem area Ravelers meet on May 21st. So that's a group for knitters, crocheters,
Okay.
fiber artists. That's
All
kind of
you
a new
nitwits,
thing.
come on, and you could needle us a little.
Yep, and we have an adult Lego group. So it's not just for kids. We have a
Adult
kids Lego
Lego.
program too.
My gosh.
But adult
This
Legos.
really needs publicity. I hope that you're in touch with Tom Mayhol Rastrelli. He's the arts and culture reporter at Statesman Journal.
Okay.
And I think any special events, make sure that you communicate with him a week, 10 days in advance, so he gets it on the calendar. So
Yeah, I think we have a way of pushing those press releases out.
Broaden your consumer and stuff. But make sure he includes it in his Sunday calendar of events. It's very widely read. Tom is a very proficient writer and researcher, talent scout. Okay. Now I'm going to ask an open-ended question that there's no specific answer to. If, let's say, the library's budget were increased greatly, doubled, somebody left a legacy, but what do you think would be the prime area of purchase to enhance library services? What do you perceive to be an area that could be well nourished, that because of budget constraints hasn't reached its...
I think we could do more to increase our outreach services. So we do outreach. We go out to events in the community, and I run a homebound services program that we're going to talk about. But we have a limit that's capped at 90 people, and I often have a waiting list. So I would, it would give us the ability to expand that and to do more outreach into other parts of town, not within walking distance of the library. Maybe open up some kind of a satellite branch. I mean, if I'm dreaming big,
Yes.
just a way of having another point of contact with the library in another place in the community.
P.S. I've spoken to some people in the city council, and there is a lot of support, I think, for expanding the West Salem Library, which was cut from 31 hours to 16 hours, and I was one of the people that advocated not cutting it down to 1 day a week, and we succeeded. But they may add a 5th day, possibly on a...
That would be great. Yeah, we've got West Salem and downtown,
Yeah.
and then it would be great if we had something over on the east side of town too.
Okay. They're what, from 2 to 6?
Yeah, so
For the West Salem branch?
yeah, West Salem, they don't have on here, but 2 to 6 is generally, it's
Right.
4 days a week.
Yeah, it's the only branch library. It was donated by the Roth family who run the supermarket. You may not have known that part. And therefore they said if the library vacates it, will return to them.
Okay.
So, and let's talk a little bit about the artwork in the library. And you have a lending artwork.
We do. It's called Art to Go, and anyone with a library card can come and check out a piece of art. So there's a large collection, and I believe it was funded by a donor and the Salem Public Library Foundation. Purchased art by local artists. I don't know exactly how many pieces there are, but there's quite a few, drawings, paintings, photographs.
Is it free or do you pay?
It's free, and you get to check them out for 6 weeks.
Okay. if you guys need some more money, you might consider asking for $1 or $2 donation, because I think that could enhance one of your programs. I can't mandate it, but I can suggest it. And all I think, because it is a service that people can.
Yeah, it's a neat program. So if you come into the main entrance of the Central Library and you go past the new books, on your right, past where the newspapers are right now, there's 2 walls with glass cases where all the art is that you can take a look at.
Okay. Are there any other programs that I missed that you are knowledgeable about to share with our viewers out there?
Well, do you want to talk about our homebound services?
Yes, go.
Okay, that is my area of
homebound.
specialty. So I run a program called Operation Bookshelf. And this is a partnership between the Salem Library and the Assistance League of Salem Kaiser. So we serve 90 patrons at a time. We do a once-a-month delivery. So this is if you're unable to visit the library for whatever reason. So this is not just for seniors, but for anyone who has a disability, vision problems, extended illness, things like that. So we do, like I said, a once-a-month delivery. These are our delivery bags. We just got new ones.
Blushing red.
Yes. So volunteers from the Assistance League do the actual delivery. I work with the patrons to figure out what they like to read, how many items they'd like each month. You can have up to 25. And that's books, audiobooks, magazines, DVDs. And there is a charge for the DVDs, just like at the normal checkout desk. Sure. But basically, I and a library volunteer put together the delivery for them each month, and the Assistance League comes. They drive in their own vehicle. There's 8 different routes that cover all parts of town, including West Salem. So depending where you live, you're on, it could be the first Tuesday of the month or the second Wednesday of the month. So you're assigned to a route.
By district.
And the volunteers come to your home. They drop off the books. They kind of spend a few minutes visiting with you, see how you liked what you had last time. It's really important for me to get that feedback. So if you don't want any more of, a new author that I sent, I know that, and then I don't send that anymore. So patrons communicate with me. Some email or call me directly. Others pass notes through the volunteers or fill out a little slip I send them.
Good to know that, because I have a relative who's going to be relocating from Portland to Salem in June, and she may be on your waiting list.
Yeah, have her give me a call. So we serve many residents at a lot of the retirement homes and assisted living facilities and rehab facilities, and then a lot of people in their own homes. So it's a really good program and a really good partnership with the Assistance League that we're able to serve a lot of people with their help.
Okay. In the half minute I have left, I'm just going to drop another idea in your lap.
Okay.
Many years ago, I used conference calls for the homebound. We had a speaker with the Senior Sentinel. I was wondering if at some point storytelling for the homebound with a conference call might be feasible.
I know
So
that
food
some
for thought.
libraries do that, do story time at senior living facilities.
So that's
a good idea.
Okay. Any parting shots for people who want to be librarians? Advice?
Oh gosh, if you like to help people, being a librarian is a great job, and the Salem Library is great for everybody to come visit. So come see us.
Go library! Yay! Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's.